Yeah, good evening all. It's just gone 19:30 hours. This is Victor Kilo 4, Golf Romeo Bravo, Gary in Fairyland. We'll now change our call sign over to the club call of VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club's Wednesday night net. This is VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. We hold this net every Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m, 19:30 hours. Currently, it's well, it's telling me it's 23 degrees, but it's stuck indoors at the moment. But anyway, it's 0% wind speed and it's 30% humidity. Okay. This is VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. Does anyone else want to join the net? VK4BAD listening?
VK4IJP, good evening all. VK4FAX.
Okay, we've got VK4IJP, Ian, out there at Proston. And you got VK4 FAX, Don, out there in Toowoomba area. I do know the area. I just can't remember it offhand. Anyway, this is VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. Any more call-ins for the Wednesday night net? VK4BAD?
VK4 Echo Mike.
Oh, well, we're getting an extra one. VK4 Echo Mike, Merv out at Pittsworth. Yeah. Okay, anyone else want to join the net? VK4BAD?
VK4XLR.
They're coming in dribs and drabs, like one at a time. Good evening there, Russell. VK4HLR out there in Wandai. Okay, last call before we start the first round. VK4BAD. Okay, nothing else heard. Yeah, that's actually not been a bad sort of days. It's been still pretty mild. Yeah. Other than that, been working on the antennas. So that's a plus. Majority of my stuff has come in the post. I'm still waiting on a couple of items, but other than that, they'll be here in the next within the next week. other than that, someone decided to light up to the north west of my location. We were smoked in for a couple of days. But other than that, weren't too worried about this week just gone. Okay, VK4IJP, you throw it over to Don, VK4FAX, Don to Merv, VK4 Echo Mike, and Merv to Russell, VK4HLR. Okay, VK4IJP, over to you there, Ian, VK4BAD.
It's good evening, everyone. I had troubles with my pen. I haven't got the full list, but I know there's Don, Merv, Russell there, but yep, I've had to scurry to get another pen, and it's only partially working, so not a good way to start. And I didn't realise I was first on the list anyway, Gary. I thought I entered a little bit late because you were given the usual weather report and different things. Yeah, anyway, good evening all. It's good to be back home. It's sort of in a roundabout way, good to be back. In a roundabout way, I'd much rather be probably still out and about, travelling around. But the HF aerial that I quickly knocked up, which I didn't test before I left, wasn't longer enough to tune up on 80 metres and 40 metres. But I did work some on 10 metres. Some stations around the place, and also on 15 as well. So yeah, it was fairly good. So I sort of got myself some ideas on what I'm going to do for some aerials in the car sometime, which I'm going to have to put something together. So I think I'll spend a little bit of time trying to make a multi-spot HF aerial, and I caught away for 6 metres, and but these won't be sort of like left on the car all the time. I'll just sort of put them on the car and when I'm going to use them. So, but yes, it was a good trip up to basically up to Cooktown, Cape Tribulation. Of course, knocked over the Bloomfield truck, which I'd done 16, 17, 18 years ago. And now there's a big bridge over the river, so that was all very easily done in the crib track. So, yeah, that was good, and really enjoyed the rainforests and that. Then when we came home inland through Charters Towers and down to Banana, basically, and around the Fossican Fields, it started to get very dry, and we get home. I'd no fear about the lawn being out of control anyway. Okay, so that's briefly it. I'll put it over to Don, VK4FAX, and the group. This is VK4IJP.
Just had the message from the sponsors, but anyway, VK4AJP with the group. Good evening, Ian. Gary, thanks for running the net. And Merv and Russell out there. Merv in Pittsburgh, Russell out there in Wondai. I was just talking to Sean ABS last night. he did that trip up around where you were in. That's the one you didn't run into each other, but Sean's only just new to the great system we belong to, and he took along a HF antenna and made a couple of contacts apparently. So anyway, he was pretty proud of his achievements last night when he was on the New Horizons net. Got a couple of young fellas down there in Brisbane that have just joined recently, and yeah, they're really, really keen, so it's good to hear. We've got some up-and-coming young fellas to continue on this craft. I'll just break for a tick. Yeah, I had something else to mention there, but it slipped the old memory bank. But anyway, yeah, present day here. Just that little nip in the air. Yeah, I got the shorts, pants on and short socks, etc. But just need to pull that flannel shirt over the short sleeve shirt every morning and afternoon, because it just that little nip in the air. But anyway, hopefully we might get a bit of moisture towards the end of the week, but I won't be banking on that one. I'm out to Pitchworth on Saturday. I'll just break again once. Yeah, sorry about that. Playing in the Buzz final out there, the Clifton Club, the Pitchworth Club has been nominated to conduct the finals, and I'm playing for Drayton in the 3rd Division, and we have to play the final out there at Pitchworth on Saturday afternoon. And yeah, we've been playing above our weight right through the whole 8 weeks it's been, and anyway, we've made it to the final, and it won't be a disgrace if we get knocked off, because we're only just a mob of also range, and we're playing teams well above our standards. So pretty proud about that. So we'll just see how we go on Saturday. Okay, I won't bore you too much more with the bowls. I'll pass you over there to Merv, and I hope he got some more answers as to what that Loch Ness Monster is, but I've told him what it is. I reckon it's an old log that's been floating around underwater there, and it's full of gaseous substances, and every now and then it'll rise to the surface and one of them big limbs will stick out, and then it'll relieve itself and go subsurface again. But anyway, that's my idea. VK4EM with the group VK4FAX.
Okay, very good evening everyone. Great to hear you on there tonight. VK4FAX with the group, VK4 Echo Mike. Yeah, okay, Don, thanks for your thoughts and the email. And Terry, VK4ATM, he reckons he's found the monster. I might send it to you tomorrow and see what you think. But I think he's done a bit of fiddling with, one of the programs, and he's added the monster in on the lake, so he's out to claim the $1 million. Or someone told me that it's $11 million if you can get a photo of it. So that'd be great to. But people have been trying since the beginning of time, and they the photos that they had, especially that one that's got the highway in the background and the car or a truck on the highway, and then it's got the big long neck and the small head and a bit of the body out of the water. After all their research and spending probably $500 million, they've discovered that photo was false. Okay, Gary, and I was trying to catch up with you to see if the fires were out around your way. We also had all the smoke here, and not as much as Clifton had though, but right around, the south and the west and the north horizons. And wherever it was burning pretty rapidly. I've seen the bomber planes go over here a few times, the water bombers go over here, or well, not over here, over to the north further. I see them heading in towards Toowoomba, then I see them heading out later. And when I looked up on the web, they said Cecil Plains, the fire had changed, it was moving, it jumped the barriers or the whatever, and was heading towards Cecil Plains. And then someone mentioned that same thing was happening at Tara, so I went back to the web, and yes, they said they were going to start evacuating people out of Tara. So, and this is only the start of the season. What's it going to be like a little bit further down? Anyway, good evening to my old mate Russell. How are you going, Russell? VK4 Hotel Lima Romeo, VK4 Echo Mike in the group.
VK4 Echo Mike, thanks, Murph. No, not too bad, mate, not too bad. And good evening to Gary, and thanks for running the net. Ian and Don. Oh, we got a big group tonight. Anyway, I only just remember it, by the way, Gary. I just finished channel, and then I heard the repeater open, and I heard you go, oh, Lord. But nothing this way. Oh, yeah, well, nothing this way, because Wednesday for me is like house cleaning day and bed changing and all the rest of it. But I did have a good weekend. I went up to Toowoomba, so I was looking for a ute. And I stayed with Kerry and Cher. And Kerry, I don't really know, he's just come out of hospital, VK4GRB. And I stayed with him for 2 days. And he's beginning to get around with a wheelie walker now, but he's got to wear these white stockings. So I see him as, hello, sexy. Oh, Jesus, he cracked up. But no, it was good because it gave Terrell a bit of a break with him because he's being a bit of an astropolis little fellow at the moment. But it was good. I thoroughly enjoyed it anyway, so it's nice to see he's going to get back on his feet. Murph, that you were talking about, I think, I'm not quite sure you were referring to the Loch Ness Monster. That's been going on for years. Even when I was in England, they called the mob that goes to the college, the students, were building these Loch Ness Monsters and going underground, under the water with scuba tanks and dragging them along the, just under the, I used to laugh, mate. Everybody was going click, click, click with the cameras. They just take it to the bottom and put a couple of bricks, rocks on it to hold it down. But, that's been going on for years. But every time I hear that, I crack up. I don't look like I've got anybody to pass it on to, so I'll have to probably pass it back to the bad boy up there, Gary. And, it's no smoke down here, fellas. No smell of a fire, so I guess I must be in the lucky area. Well, what was happening with Kerry? Oh, we had one hell of a hellstorm. Oh, Jesus. The ground was almost white, but it was cold in Toowoomba. And I'm glad I took me lumberjackers with me because I wore it quite a bit up there. It was really, wind was really bitey. With that, I'll pass it back to VK4. Oh, right, I just beeped out. Gary, I didn't write down the BAG, I think it is. I'm not sure, BAV. And we'll put it back to you there, Gary, and we'll wait on the second run. VK4HLR.
VK4HLR, VK4 Golf Romeo Yep, got me doing it now. VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Gambler Radio Club. Before I continue on, is there anyone else who wants to join the net? This is VK4BAD listening. Okay, nothing else heard? Yes, okay, yeah. I was hearing every now and then your progress of your trips there, or your escapade there, and the ventures of via Russell and Eric's conflabs they were having. Okay, no worries there, Don. Oh well, just think, you're a little team, but have a look at our first winter gold medalist. He was in last place, and then on the final bend, he ended up in first place. So you never know there, Don. The others might falter. Yeah, okay. Stand by for a second. Okay, this is VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. Right, we're up to Merv with his Loch Ness Monster. Merv's actually the only one who's actually met my late wife. So he's got a brief in a look of what her attitude was like, and her point of view of the Loch Ness Monster was when she was over in Scotland doing a bus tour of the lochs of Scottish area, or the Scotch area, and they got to Loch Ness, and she says, "Yeah, a couple of bloomin' Scotch bloomin' pissed out of their brains. Bloomin' were walking past and thought they seen something, and yeah." And that was what she said on the tour bus. So that's her opinion of it. So, but she was never a quiet lady. But anyway, things. So no worries there, Russell. No, you came in, while we were calling. Yeah, everybody was slow coming on to the mark. I even surprised Ian of being first on the ladder. So, eventually you all take your turn of being first. But no worries. Okay, before we continue on with the the outside temperature at the moment is 16.9 degrees outside, 45% humidity, 0 wind speed. For the ones who are watching the live stream, you would have seen me stand up and was mucking around with something. I was just flicking it over from day to night time on my to rotate between inside and outside temperatures on my temperature gauge readout. Anyway, so we're 16.9 degrees outside. Okay, before we continue on the last round, is there anyone else want to join in? VK4BAD listening? Okay, nothing else heard? VK4IJP, over to you there, Ian. VK4BAD.
Yeah, very good, Gary. Yeah, I had a couple of phone calls from Eric, and just checking up on our welfare, making sure all was good, because we did have one problem with the starter motor. And I've actually got to dig up the receipt because I don't think it's be far off being a year old. But we just had a starter motor seize up big time. So, but anyway, I mustn't forget to do that tomorrow. But anyway, but other than that, yeah, the smoke. Yeah, no smoke around here. But as we were coming home, Saturday night at Isfold, the smoke was absolutely incredible there. It was quite thick. I think probably visibility was probably cut down to 400 metres or so. But it's just basically seen as how dry it is on the inland, and that. But then, to be honest, we were at Atherton for 5 days. We didn't have any rain there. Oh, we had a little bit of rain, but they tell me that was actually a little wetter and cold. The wettest and coldest place we came across in the whole trip. But anyway, it was really good. We enjoyed getting around, have a look around Atherton as we had a hire car as well. So while we waited to get the starter motor put in. But fun and games. But yeah, it is a little cool, but it's a lot better than 30 degrees. And and I do probably figure out that it probably has been quite dry and hot down here, as I think we may have lost a tree. I'm just trying to think of the fruit. It's a fruit tree. It's only a little baby, but even though I gave it a good water beforehand, and we were away probably a week longer because of the starter motor. But anyway, maybe I should have put some shade over it. But anyway, not to mind. Yeah, the grass around the tree is nice and green, but the tree, the plant, what's left of it looks a bit dry. Anyway, that's about it. So I've got to, now I'm home, I've got, something's changed with my HF antenna. I can't tune in some of the bands, and I've got to get in and rebuild my 6-metre vertical, which broke a couple of days before we left. And I've also got the plans to build this dual band 10 and 6-metre antenna, a Yagi antenna. So I've got enough little projects to do now I'm back, and at least I don't have to mow the lawn. Anyway, Gary, again, thank you for managing the net for us. All very much appreciated. Yes, fancy I'm in first. Usually I wait, but I thought I was late. It turns out I was early. VK4FAX and the BAD net group, VK4IJP.
VK4AJP with the group, VK4FAX. Yeah, thanks, Ian, and you have a great night, mate. Sounds like you had a wonderful time, and even though you had a bit of a misadventure with the vehicles. Yeah, you never know, Gary. We could do a Bradbury and skate around the corner and overtake those others that were a little bit better than us. But anyway, all we can do is hope and try our best. We've amazed ourselves to go through, I think it's 7 weeks. This is the 8th week. to get to the finals. Our number 2 team, which was pretty well stacked up with really good players, they didn't perform at all. They got an absolute touch-up last weekend, so they're out of the system. Our number 1 side, which is pretty talented, they're in the final against, I think it's North Toowoomba. And we're coming up against South Toowoomba fellas. So anyway, I'll update this next Wednesday night, whether it be cheers or beers, or it'll probably be beers drowning their sorrows, but anyway, we'll try hard. Yeah, not much else to report. Looking forward to tomorrow night and seeing how many turn up for the scrub turkey. 4 nights in a row I'm over here for the nets, so I'll just break in case I'll time it out. Maybe I did. I'm not sure. I haven't got a timer on my system. I must get one. Anyway, I'll say good night to all and hand it on to Merv, VK4EM with the group VK4FAX.
Roger that, Don. No worries at all. VK4FAX with the group, VK4 Echo Mike. I'll get along out of here too. One of the girls here earlier, a fox called. What does a fox do? Call, bark, yap, screech? I don't know. Anyway, we'll say a fox called close to the front door. And one of the girls here, well, they both got up and went. And I didn't have the light on, so one of them didn't see the security door was closed, so she took a dive through knocked the screen off the track. It's happened several times before. It's one of those security screens. It's got the 2 rollers on the top and the 2 rollers on the bottom. And unfortunately, when this happens, it usually breaks the rollers, and I have to replace them. So I'll have a bit of a look at that and see if we can do anything with it tonight. If not, we'll leave it till daylight and cry in the corner about it. Yeah, okay, Russell, yes, Loch Ness Monster Denise is over there at the moment. And I think they were going to spend the day there. The last couple of days I think they've been there, maybe the last 3. And she said everything's commercialised over there now. Everyone's got their hand out for money. If you want to go to the loo, or you want to drink water, or you want to stick your toe in the lock and all that sort of stuff, there's always someone there asking for money. And the Aussie that was there in the caravan who was doing those marvellous paintings of the Loch Ness Monster, apparently they got rid of him out of there. They tried to move him a few times, but he went back apparently. And Denise said they got a big, souvenir shop there now. But very strange. Denise reckons that all the souvenirs are from China and not from, Scotland or anything at all. Just like everything, isn't it? Everyone wants $1 these days, or probably more than $1. Thanks for the net, Gary. And yes, I did have the pleasure of meeting your wife a couple of times. I think you dropped in at work, and your wife was there. So yeah, good old days, all those memories. Okay, I'll pass it back on to Russell. And I'll get out of here and go and see what the damage is done to the door. VK4HLR, VK4 Echo Mike. Good evening, everyone.
VK4 Echo Mike, thanks for and the crew. Yeah, no, that used to be a real thing, man. I can remember right back when I was 7 years old, back when I was living in England. And it was always there, it was always in the papers, or it was on the telly, students from the college here in Scotland used to get up with some awful pranks, mate. So, you know, so basically, personally myself, I don't think there is a Loch Ness monster. You know, it was probably a Japanese two-man submarine which started it off, I reckon. But anyway, there you go. But no, I suppose it's just the way people like. But I didn't know it got that bad over there, Murph. Not gift shops and everybody's charging for this and that. Oh man, that's more. It sounds more like Thailand. But never mind. Oh dear. I was just saying, I spoke to my brother last night in England. He's 84 years old and they've taken his driver's license away from him. He's never had an accident in his life. He's the most steady, careful bloke you'd ever come across. Because he reached 84, they made him go and take a driving test. And the car, he said the car he was given to drive in the manual shouldn't have been on the road. He said because he spent half his time getting the clutch pedal back up off the floor. But I said, you should have went to the police and reported it. I said, no, he's caused trouble. I said, nah. So anyway, I don't know what he's going to do. He's very distraught, very stressed over it. He went to the doctors, and the doctors sent in the transport minister a real bad letter to what is doing to the elderly. Not that it'll fall on deaf ears, I think, but well, there you go. But other than that, like, you know, I hope they don't do it over here, so I said to my neighbour, if they bring that over here, I'm 80, and if I bring that over here, I'll just sell up and move back to England and then put up with it over there and not over here. But it's a long days yet. We'll see what happens. Because he's in a town there, it's a seaside place, they call it. And there is a bus now running up and down the road outside his house, so he could now possibly catch the bus. Oh, they're very nice on, Mike. They're sending all the pensioners bus passes for free bus rides anywhere they want to go. Which I think's oh, God. They say that, like in England, mate, you go for a drive... timed out. You go for a driving test, you're on L plates, you go for your driving test, you take your L plates off, you don't have P plates, nothing like that, you get a full license. And the young kids are going down there, getting their licenses, and going out and buying bloody great big V8s, and souping them up, and straight through exhaust pipes. Nothing's done about that, mate. There's more young kids getting killed or killing somebody with the way things are going over there. It's absolutely ridiculous. No wonder the place has gone to pot, but there you go. All right, well, I got no one to pass it on to, so I'll pass it on to Gary, the bad boy. VK4BAD and the group VK4HLR.
VK4HLR, VK4 Golf Romeo, Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club's Wednesday Night Net. Okay, before we close off, does anyone else want to come in, say hello, goodbye before we close the net off? VK4BAD. Okay, nothing else, nothing heard. Okay, I was going to say something, but I forgot what it was going to be. Anyway, it's that craft disease, you know, can't remember a flaming thing. Anyway, I'd like to thank all for turning up tonight. Yourself there, Ian, VK4 IJP, Ian out of Proston, VK4 FAX Don, VK4 out in Toowoomba area, VK4 Echo Mike, Merv out in Pittsworth, and VK4 HLR Russell out there in Wandai. Okay, until the same time next week, this is Victor Kilo 4, Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. I'll now resort back to my my home call of VK4 Bravo Golf Romeo Bravo, and I'll now leave the frequency open for general traffic. This is Victor Kilo 4 Golf Romeo Bravo, Gary in Fairyland. Till the same time next week, 7-3, take care.